This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, this is Russ Thompson with Chiro Quick Charts. I'm going to show you a little bit about the Chiro Quick Charts software. I'll try to make it brief. So the workflow in Chiro Quick Charts begins with the scheduler. So as patients are scheduled, like for example, you double click on the time slot and provide part of a name, and you schedule for a patient. That's how the schedule is populated for the day. So when a patient arrives on this schedule, you can right-click, check the patient in, and in my system, I have them turning a different color when we check the patient in. So when Karen checks in, or Missy checks in, or Tom checks in, they turn into a different color when they're checked in. So the checked-in patients, ultimately, what it does is it pulls the chart, and I'll show you the charts that have been pulled in a moment. Included in the scheduling software and included in Chiro Quick Charts are text and email reminders that go out to the patients that you select. In addition to the reminder service, there's a way to right-click on an account. For example, right-click on my account, and you can check eligibility for me through TriZetto batch checking of eligibility. So this will return a result for me concerning my insurance and my eligibility. If I wanted to check the whole day, I come up to the header and I right-click on it and check eligibility for the whole day. I could check eligibility for the whole week. So if I had 30 patients scheduled a day, 3 times a week, I got 100 patients, it'll check all of them in one fell swoop with the check eligibility feature. So those are some of the more advanced features of the scheduler. They're included with the software so long as you use TriZetto as your clearinghouse. Also in the scheduler are some management tools that happen just as a result of you using the software. So when patients arrive, we know that they've arrived and we know that they've scheduled. We also know what their financial construct is. What are we supposed to be collecting, for example? So these are patients that were seen and you actually forgot to bill them altogether. This list would provide, this menu choice would provide a list of patients that were seen, but no copay was taken, and they were supposed to have a copay collected. This list show me all patients who were seen, but no payment at all was collected, and maybe you have a collection policy at your front desk, and you'd like to see a collection happen. Well, those are the patients that did not pay you anything that day. These are missed appointments that made no future appointment in your practice, so they had an appointment and they never showed up and they never made a future appointment. This choice is show me all patients that you saw, they actually arrived and you saw them and then they made no future appointment. So these are retention, patient retention and patient, this ways to make sure that you don't lose people in the process. Now, they may have been seen and they were late for their kids' soccer game, so they never made an appointment with you. We still want to follow up on them, and that's this is a tool that allows you to do that. So when I right-click on an appointment, it checks the patient in over here in the EHR. So this is the note-taking side of Chiro Quick Charts. So when you double-click on a patient record, for example, let's go back here. I have an appointment. I'm going to move that appointment, which I easily did. Then I'm going to check me in, and that will now pull the chart for today. And right here, double click on my name. It loads the chart. Not only does it load the chart, it actually builds the note from a same as last time architecture for today's visit. And so I've got several hundred visits, and it went through and looked at the last one on the 3rd and created the note on the 10th. And so this is what we used to call the travel card view because everybody did travel cards. It's called the chart view now. Everything over here are images and documents. And so any letter, any identifying, like there's a driver's license, and there's a picture of me when I was out on my boat. There is letters, PDF files, Excel spreadsheets, health plans for the patient. Anything that is an image or a document goes in this area. So this is called chart view. Literally everything is on this page. Auto accident findings, how to print anything. The disability indices are in here. Patient handouts are in here. But really when it comes down to just looking at the note and creating the note, you double click on any section of today's note and it takes you to this screen. This screen is where you're going to take care of 90% of the business of charting that patient's record. So, and you're going to spend most of your time on this screen. This patient has low back pain, and this composition box at the bottom that was created when the patient arrived and you asked them about their complaint. So I'll show you how to modify an existing complaint, and that is to say, today's better, and maybe it's a 2 in mild, and the nature of pain is not stabbing or any of these things. Maybe it's an ache and it's throbbing and it bothers the patient occasionally, and chiropractic is working and we no longer are on ice. Rest helps, we're off the medications. So I've modified a low back pain complaint. I could say things about the ADLs, like sitting is better or worse, and I can say specifically how much better or worse. Sitting, standing, and walking are the ADLs. So I could say sitting is 80% better, and standing is 70% better, and walking is 100% better. And then if I had more to say, there's a notes button on every one of these sections of the electronic health record. Allows you to type anything you want in here. So we have the template, which gets the note done rapidly. And then we have the notes section, which allows you to be really custom tailored. So let's start a new complaint of mid-back pain. You can say when it started. It doesn't have to be a date. It can be yesterday. It can be I don't know. It can be gradual onset. So I'm going to say that it's yesterday. And watch the composition box at the bottom. So that is an addendum to the note, free form. If you had a microphone and a headset, you could talk to it. If you have a way to record that. So now I have low back pain. I've got mid back pain, and the entire system works just exactly how I just showed you. So on the palpation screen, you say what you found. So for example, if you found sciatic nerve involvement, and you had loss of strength in cervical, and you had weakness also in cervical, and you had spasm in lumbar, Every time you click on the condition, which is on top of the screen, and then the where part on the bottom, it creates a phrase. And so if I treat the patient the way I treated them the last time, that's this screen, I can send this over to billing. It's ready to be billed at this point because it remembered what we did last time. And all of the buttons that you see, diagnosis, plan for the patient's care, cervical orthopedic tests, low back orthopedic tests, range of motion, review of systems, postural analysis, radiological findings, and so on, are all contained in this column of buttons. If there are buttons that you don't want to use, you can turn them off. If there are buttons that don't exist, you can create your own. At the end of the day, though, it culminates in a note. And I'm going to pop a note to the screen. And give you a quick look at it. In the QuickChart software, anything that prints comes off the printer icon. We thought that was a simple design. And so this is what the note looks like. Patient information, past medical history, subjective findings. Objective findings are here, right here. Your assessment of the patient's condition. It's a complete note. And then you go back to the scheduler, check the next patient in, go back to the chart, and start working on your next patient and your next patient. If you get to a point where you have more to do on a note with the patient, you can drag it into notes on hold, and that's a reminder for you that you've got more work to do. So this has just been a brief overview. If any of this piques your interest, please feel free to contact us at quickcharts.com. From our website, you can make contact with us. Cell phone is 814-434-0485. Thank you.